Hey, what's going on guys? John here. Today I'm actually going to be doing a video review for the Best Choice products. This is the Range Rover Discovery ride-on for kids. So this is actually a sponsored video by Best Choice Products. They sent me this product to have me do a full review of this. So I'm going to basically break down everything from setting it up, all the different options on this. We'll take a look at the remote control as well as the manual, and I'll just go through everything. So let me actually bring the camera over. We will do basically a walkthrough of everything, and then I'm actually going to do a little demo just riding it around, just so you have some idea of what it's like using the remote control. So let's get into it. Alright, so first we'll start with some of the installation on this, and then we'll go through the manual, and then I'll set the camera back up on the stand so we can go through, do a little demo of this. So in terms of installation, it was fairly straightforward. You basically flip the car over, and it has you attach all of the wheels. It does come with two basically specific plastic pieces that you can use. You'll need for the rear, I believe, to make sure you're holding one on each side. You may need a second person to help you with that, but overall, I was able to assemble everything by myself without too much of an issue. Once you've done that, these hubcaps actually just snap on. They actually added some really nice detail. You can see there's a little caliper here. This has the Land Rover like graphics and such all throughout as well. You have the tail lights, and just going through, it gives, you know, sort of an idea as to what to expect. You could see there's little LEDs in the actual rear there, and then you've got little lights there, so it really creates like a nice element of everything that you would normally want with this. You've also got the little side lights, your mirrors, so these actually just get screwed in. The front glass actually gets screwed in as well. These basically just clip in, and then once you've done that, there's two screws that you'll put down to kind of keep this held in place. The battery and everything is actually under the main seat, so this actually goes on as one piece, and then you have the back seat as well. The nice thing with this is it does come with dual seat belts, so you actually have the straps that come down, and then you've got a seat belt that sits in the middle, so each of these basically plugs in into the middle like this, so the straps come over. One thing I really like about that is if you're braking on this, sometimes your child, you know, maybe isn't expecting it, especially if you're using the remote. You don't want them like kind of going forward into the front here. So this actually will prevent that so long as you have the shoulder straps on. You've got the steering wheel here. This basically has two functions for like horns. So it kind of does an engine start sort of emulation sound. That's actually the same sound it does when you power it on. And then it has a little horn. You have your little dash here, which is a nice little almost replica of what you would expect in like the real car. Same thing over there, all the little details. So they did a really good job. It's got even the little vents and everything for the AC. You have an MP3 player here, so this will actually connect via Bluetooth. By default, I think it just shows the volts of the battery, but you can go into different modes.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
So there's the Bluetooth.
The radio mode.
You got radio.
The Bluetooth.
So that was like, that's the default mode. So it just leaves it off. You have your stop, forward, and reverse. So your child can easily do that. And then I believe this will actually control the speed. So if you do this, that's low speed. This is high speed. Again, you can control all of that from the remote. Here's your power. Beyond that, you have a very simple remote. One thing I really like about this is you have an indicator in the middle. So this S will control the speed. So right now that's basically at 2, that's at 3, so that's the highest speed, and then now we're at the lowest speed with just 1. If you hit the P button, all the lights will actually flash, and that means that the car is completely stopped, so your child cannot actually accelerate. There's only the single gas pedal, so there's no gas, or no brake on this rather. You're pretty much just accelerating or letting off the gas. The first time I let my daughter in this, you know, she almost ended up actually hitting like an actual physical car in a parking lot, like in our neighbor's driveway. So luckily I was able to hit the P really quickly and stop her from doing that. Otherwise you essentially have your forward and back, and then you've also got your turn left, turn right. I'll go ahead now and do a little demo. So I'm going to take it out of park mode, and I'm just going to kind of move it back and forth, but you could see here, this is forward, and it goes pretty good. I mean, if you have this on the highest speed, one thing you'll note too is you're more or less controlling the turning. So, you know, if your child is holding the wheel, you will overtake what they're doing unless they like really hold on tight. But as you can see, this is fairly responsive. I did find with this, sometimes it helps to actually like sort of hit this multiple times, especially when going over like grass or maybe, you know, like non-asphalt, just to really make sure you get good turns. Otherwise, you know, it works pretty well, but if you're holding forward and she's also, in this case, or he is hitting the gas, you're essentially taking over control. So if you hit P at any time, they could hit the gas, and again, they're not going to move. But yeah, overall, very happy with this. I think they did a really good job with this. Of course, we got it in this pink color, but you can get this in other colors as well. So yeah, I think if you're looking for, you know, just something really nice to get for your child, you want to have the ability where your friend, you know, one of their friends could actually sit with them, this is definitely going to be a good bet. Another thing I thought I would note as well that's an advantage with this is you actually have the charging port right here in the front. So this gives you an option for high or low speed, and then you have your port right here where my finger is. So you can easily plug this in. You don't have to like take the seat apart or anything like that to get to the battery, and you'll be good to go. I did also want to quickly just show you the manual so you had some idea of what to expect here, but it does give you a layout of all the parts, everything you'll need, and it shows color diagrams and pictures of everything. Another thing that I would note with this that I thought would be helpful is when I was doing the hubcaps, it shows taking a nut here off, but this actually had these large sort of plastic caps, and the nuts were actually inside of the caps. So what I did is I took a Phillips screwdriver and I just kind of edged it underneath the each of these nuts, and I was able to pull it out of those plastic pieces. So when you get to that step, you might be confused, you know, where is this nut? And the nut is actually sitting inside of the plastic piece that you remove for the rear. Otherwise, everything in here was very straightforward. You can see it just shows you all the steps installing, you know, each of these pieces, connecting the battery, connecting your mirrors, your seat, and everything. So it was very step by step. It probably only took me maybe 30 minutes to put the whole thing together, and it even had a charge initially when I took it out. So yeah, pretty happy with this. Goes over the remote and everything you need to know. It does take a couple AA batteries, or I'm sorry, AAA batteries, which are not included, so you will need that. There's even some troubleshooting steps at the end, and yeah, it just gives you a pretty good idea of what to expect. Anyway, thanks for checking out my review. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I will talk to you later.